developers can use ChatGPT and Bot AI to improve the code they write and overall improve the applications they produce. So enhancing code and applications with ChatGPT and Bot AI, empowering software developers. So we're first going to talk about like the history of software developers, where do they come from, stuff like that. So software developers has a rich history that spans several decades. Basically, it's a very long one. So in the early days, 1940s and 50s, the first functional programming languages were developed in the early 1950s. These languages were designed to communicate instructions to a computer, and they were used by engineers and scientists to solve complex problems. In the 1960s, the field of software engineering began to take shape as researchers and practitioners began to develop a formal method of software development design, and basically they started to make their programming much more structured and basically much more machine-like. So in the 1970s and 1980s, the time of the great innovation in the field of software engineering, as new programming languages such as Pascal, C were introduced. These languages made it easier to write and maintain code, and they helped to usher in the new era of software development. In the late 1980s saw the rise of the personal computers and the commercialization of software. This led to the growing demand of software developers, and the field of software engineering began to professionalize. So the late 1960s witnessed the rise of structured programming, developers like Eagle and COBOL. So these are all like the early developments before the 1980s, where software was being commercialized and stuff like that. So in the 1970s, the concept of object-oriented programming emerged, leading to the creation of languages like Smalltalk and C++. So the 1980s brought about advancement, as I said before. So the 1990s saw the advent of the internet, which revolutionized software development with the emergence of web applications and dynamic languages like JavaScript. So the 2000s, the 21st century, it demanded a growth in the software development industries as new technologies such as cloud computing, mobile development have emerged, and the software developments are now in high demand across the wide range of industries. Software developers have played a vital role in shaping the modern world. They have created the software that we use to communicate, work, and play. And in this world continues to become more digital, that demand for software development is going to grow. Here are some of the additional points that could include software developers in the modern era post 21st century. So different types of software developers, such as front end, back end, and full stack developers. The skills and qualifications are needed to become a software developer are becoming relatively easy to obtain, and it just requires a bit of work here and there. So the different career paths that are offered by software developers are many, as you can become an AI engineer, you can be a JavaScript engineer, become a C# engineer. The options are pretty much endless at this point. So the challenges and rewards as working as a software developers are pretty great, but that's what makes being a software developer so great. So let's talk about enhancing software developers. Software development is a complex and constantly changing field, and writing high quality code and developing robust applications are essential for success. And ChatGPT and Bot AI offer innovative solutions to enhance code and application development, thus meaning that high quality code will be written regardless of whatever era you're in, starting from the 21st century upwards. So in this presentation, we're going to explore more about how can software developers leverage AI tools to improve their code they write, boost their productivity, and deliver exceptional. So let's talk about the power of ChatGPT and Bot AI. ChatGPT and Bot AI are cutting-edge AI tools developed by OpenAI and Google AI, respectively. These tools harness the power of deep learning and natural language processing to understand and generate human-like text. They have been trained on vast amount of data, including text from various sources such as books, articles, and the internet. ChatGPT and Bot AI excel in tasks like language translation, content generation, answering questions, and assisting in decision making. So their ability to understand context, generate coherent responses, and provide accurate information makes them invaluable assets for software developers. So I think we're going to move on now to the advantages of these chat. So, before we move on to the advantages, we're going to talk about improving the code quality. How exactly do these chatbots help developers improve the quality of their code? So, ChatGPT and Bot AI can help developers improve code quality by simply analyzing code patterns and providing suggestions for optimization, and assisting with code refactoring and improving code readability, along with identifying potential bugs and vulnerabilities. So these are the ways in which they can improve the code quality. Let's talk about enhancing the application's functionality. So ChatGPT can contribute to enhancing the application's functionality by generating code snippets for specific tasks or features, and assisting with the implementation of complex algorithms and logic, and it can provide insights and recommendations for architectural decisions. So these are the way in which it can improve the application's functionality. Let's talk about increasing the developer's productivity now. So ChatGPT and Bot AI can increase the developer's productivity by simply automating repetitive coding tasks and reducing manual efforts, and accelerating the development process through code generation and assistance, and it can facilitate knowledge sharing and provide instant answers to queries. So those are the way in which it can improve the productivity of developers. Let's talk about the advantages of using ChatGPT and Bot AI. The first advantage is that it can save developers a lot of time and effort and increase quality of code and efficiency. Also, it can also improve the quality of code, as I've mentioned, and access to vast knowledge and best practices. Basically means that the developer will spend less time on the internet searching for what they want and spend more time on their coding platforms actually making the product they're supposed to make. So, enhanced collaboration and knowledge sharing among developers. Those are the few advantages that I can think of, and here are a few disadvantages of ChatGPT and Bot AI. Accuracy and reliability of generated code may not always be up to par, and there's a potential bias in the model's training data, and dependency on the internet connectivity and infrastructure may lead to more developers being more dependent on the internet to code rather than being dependent on their own skills to code. So those are a few disadvantages. So I'll just conclude by leaving out a very powerful statement. ChatGPT and Bot AI are powerful tools that can be used to improve the code that software developers write. However, it is important to be aware of the limitations of the large language models and use them in a responsible manner. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more content about software development, BA development, and also anything IT related. And don't forget to like, share this video with your friends, and if you liked it so much, please leave a comment, and if you feel as if there's an area I can improve in, please leave a comment on that too as well. And if you wish for a future video to be created, you can leave a comment on there as well. I'll make sure to get onto it and try to make as many videos as possible. Thank you for watching. See you again next time.